U.S. farm-raised catfish is among the safest, healthiest, and most sustainable fish available. When you see the U.S. farm-raised seal, you know exactly what you're getting and where it came from, because only U.S. farm-raised catfish is reliably natural, fresh, and healthy. But in other parts of the world, standards for fish production are nearly non-existent. The alarm over tainted food imports from Asia, including contaminated catfish, is reflected in the wide coverage by national and regional press, underscoring the growing consumer concern about the safety of today's food supply in the United States. Reports from the New York Times and the Chinese government indicate the water in China is so contaminated with sewage, heavy metals, and pesticides that tens of thousands of people are dying every year from polluted water. Chinese fish farmers commonly use banned chemicals to keep their fish alive, and carcinogens like crystal violet and malachite green as illegal disinfectants during processing. Melamine has also been found in imported catfish, the same substance that caused kidney failure in Chinese children and thousands of North American pets.
Malachite green is a banned substance in most countries of the world, including this one.
Is it dangerous?
Malachite green may be possibly the next asbestos, we don't know. I mean, Food Standards Australia would tell you that they don't consider it to be a problem. If it's not a problem, why is it banned?
Over the past 2 years, millions of pounds of seafood from China and Vietnam were refused entry into the United States because independent tests found the fish contained banned drugs and chemicals, including known carcinogens, and problems with catfish and catfish-like species from China, Vietnam, and other Asian countries are far from being solved. After refusing 20 shipments of Chinese catfish due to contamination in 2008, the FDA opened an office in China. Yet in January of 2009, a U.S.-bound shipment of Chinese catfish was found to be tainted with chloramphenicol, an illegal drug that can cause leukemia. Unfortunately, the problem with questionable food imports to the U.S. is too rampant for the FDA to effectively manage. Only 1.3% of all imported food is examined at U.S. docks, so we can only assume many more shipments of contaminated fish have made their way into the U.S. market. Suspect Asian imports are still allowed in many states, and most restaurants are not required to indicate country of origin on their menus. So the only way to be sure you're getting healthy fish is to ask your server where it came from and insist on U.S. farm-raised catfish. In the grocery store, always check for the U.S. farm-raised seal. Only U.S. farm-raised catfish is certain to be fresh, clean, and safe, and the health risk posed by Chinese catfish and imposter fish is serious. Little wonder 97% of catfish consumers nationwide want country of origin labeling on menus. U.S. farm-raised catfish is highly regulated and thoroughly inspected to ensure exceptional quality. Production is monitored by several U.S. government agencies, including the USDA Food Safety Inspection Service. Each and every catfish processor, farm, and fillet must meet exacting standards to earn the U.S. farm-raised seal. When quality, size, and flavor standards are met, U.S. catfish are harvested with seines and transported live to processing plants in aerated tank trucks. From the time the catfish are unloaded, the entire production process takes less than 30 minutes, placing U.S. farm-raised catfish among the freshest fish available.
If they had found the same substances in our catfish that they found in the imported catfish, I'm sure that FDA or whatever regulatory agency would have shut us down immediately.
American people have a right to be worried and to be mad because the food safety system that we have is absolutely not working today.
In pristine contrast to Asian fish farms, U.S. farm-raised catfish are raised in the most pure and clean environment possible. Centered in the southern states of Mississippi, Alabama, Arkansas, and Louisiana, the climate and abundant freshwater resources of the region provide an ideal environment for clean, modern aquaculture. U.S. catfish ponds are filled with pure, fresh water pumped from underground wells, and the clay-based soil surrounding the ponds naturally maintains this purity. The ponds must also meet Clean Water Act standards, which means U.S. catfish farmers can only use chemicals approved for use in public drinking water. These exceptionally responsible farming practices, combined with the low-impact nature of U.S. catfish farming, also means U.S. catfish is one of the most eco-friendly protein choices available. Due to ever-growing demand for seafood, over 75% of the world's fish species are overexploited or depleted. Proper catfish farming offers a large-scale, sustainable alternative. And unlike fish production facilities located in rivers, bays, or on the coastline, enclosed U.S. catfish farms are not subject to pollution from outside sources. Clay-based ponds filled with pure well water also ensure that U.S. catfish does not adversely affect delicate natural ecosystems. For these sound reasons, U.S. farm-raised catfish is endorsed by the World Wildlife Fund, National Audubon Society, and the Environmental Defense Fund. And the Monterey Bay Aquarium's Seafood Watch program lists U.S. farm-raised catfish as a best choice. Of course, these strict standards of quality also ensure the perfectly mild flavor of U.S. catfish. Its reliable taste and freshness are well suited to unlimited recipes. Blackened, grilled, fried, broiled. More and more families are enjoying U.S. catfish than ever before. The U.S. farm-raised catfish industry currently produces close to 1/2 billion pounds of catfish each year, which is not only good for the farmers producing it and the families eating it, but the United States and the Earth itself. Let's make sure people continue making the best choice. Insist on U.S. farm-raised catfish and support country of origin labeling for catfish in restaurants. The consumer has a right to know.